Hi guys, Colesy, and today I'm just want to do a little bit of a vent video slash maybe this might help some other people. I have had this annoying issue with my PC recently, and if you follow me on Twitter you'll have seen my annoyed tweets. Well, I say recently, I've had this issue for a while, but recently it got to the point where it was just so annoyingly in the way and I couldn't fix it that I've had this minor mini breakdown trying to fix it. The error that I've had is that sometimes when I will try and use the search function, like on your taskbar on Windows, I click it and it loads up, as in like the little box opens, but it's blank, and then it just closes itself. Now I've got a couple of videos of this so I can show you kind of what I mean. So that was the issue it started with. Now it's annoying because the search function is actually quite useful if I'm looking for a particular file or program that I want to use, so that's why it was annoying to me in the beginning. Now I used to be able to fix this. I say fix this, I guess it's kind of a bodge, and I used to be able to like kind of make it work again by uninstalling a recent Windows update. It seemed to be some sort of Windows update that was messing it up, and I used to be able to just uninstall that update or whatever the most recent one is, and then it would go back to working. And I kind of just got used to doing that. Instead of actually fixing the problem, I kind of like put a piece of tape over it for the time being and didn't actually fix the problem properly because I didn't know how to. That, as far as I was aware, my computer I just had to do that. It was just a Windows update that was messing it up. It wasn't just the search, because you can make do without the search. It was then anything that was linked to my Microsoft account. So any apps that I downloaded via the was it Microsoft or the Windows Store, whatever that's called, none of those would work, which is a bit annoying because I have a couple things that I use from there. Minecraft runs on there. I don't play a lot of Minecraft, but knowing that I have the ability to play Minecraft if I want to is good. I've got this sort of sticky note-taking app which I use to list games that I want to make videos on or things I need to edit. I use that a lot, and that stops working and is just so annoying because it's my to-do list. It's what I have a list of stuff that I need to do on. Most annoyingly, the Xbox app wouldn't work because that's downloaded via the Windows Store, and that's how I play a lot of Games Pass games on PC, and I pay for this and I want to be able to use it. Now I have an Xbox at home and I do use it occasionally for some Games Pass games and I play them at home, but when I want to record a video or play this new game for some content that's on Games Pass and I can't open Games Pass because Games Pass immediately closes because of whatever this issue is, it drives me insane. It has been driving me insane for a while, but like I said, I've been able to put that piece of tape over it for the time being and it's been fine. But the other day it did it again and it was unfixable. I tried to remove the most recent Windows update like I always had done and it didn't work. It still was broken, and yeah, it started to drive me mad because I'm like, I know that if I wipe the entire PC, it'll be fine. But I really don't want to wipe the entire PC because then I will have to set up everything that I use on a daily basis again. I have a lot of stuff, right? I have a lot of things on the PC. It's not necessarily my data, my files that I'm particularly worried about, because I can back those up. Those are backed up, those are fine, I can put those back on. It's the flipping, like, all the programs I use and having the settings in those programs set how I like them and how I've made them over the past however many years I've had that program installed on a PC. The thought of having to set that all up again is infuriating and I really want to avoid it. Like, I have tried so many things over the past days, and anyone who's given me any like ideas or things to try over the past few days, I massively appreciate it because I hate this freaking issue. And I don't like being stuck in this position where I can't really do anything because my PC's not working properly because of this one small issue. Yes, I can still work around it, kind of, but it's not right, and I don't like the fact that it's not right, and I want it just to work. I have fixed the issue. Today, I have managed to fix the issue. I don't know whether this is like 3-4 days into trying to figure this out. I fixed it. I figured out what the issue is through a lot of Googling. Like, obviously, that's how I start, right? You see the problem, you Google your problem and find out if other people have had the same problem and if there's any way to fix it, if they have fixed it, what they did to fix it. Now, I tried this and it's so difficult to Google this problem because it's difficult to explain what it is. I'm like, it's opening, but it's closing, but it's not crashing, but my PC's not crashing, it's just the search bar, and then there's all these things about like, oh, try doing this. It's obviously a Bing search issue. And I'm like, but it's not just the search bar, it's deeper than the search bar, but you try these things anyway because they're there and they don't work. And so you try another thing, and it's infuriating because you're trying these things that sort of vaguely match your issue, but they don't fix it because it's not actually your problem. After a lot of Googling and a lot of trial and error, I've done so many things. So initially, we think it's probably something wrong with Windows. There's a file that's got messed up somehow and doing some sort of repair or troubleshooting. So we did all those. I did all the troubleshooting things I could do. I did a repair of Windows 10 because I was still on Windows 10, so I did a repair of that. That took a long time. I had to come into the office in like a couple of evenings just because I go away and I go home and I sit there and I'm thinking like, what could it be? How can I fix it? What could I do? And it just drives me mad. It drives me so mad to the point that I have to come back into the office and be like, I've got to figure this out because it's driving me mad. It genuinely affects my mental health because I cannot figure it out, and it's annoying me and it's preventing me from doing what I really love doing, which is making videos and streaming and being able to do that on my PC. It's not the PC's fault. It's definitely some sort of Windows issue. It's not hardware, it's software. That's what I mean by it's not the PC. It's not the PC physically, there's nothing wrong with that. That's beautiful and perfect, as all Fierce PCs are. It's definitely a software issue, and I'm narrowing it down to Windows specifically. I'm Googling it, and I'm trying troubleshooting, and I'm trying repairing Windows 10 because I can do that without losing any of my files or programs. It'll just, go through and repair it. I'm in the command prompt doing commands, trying to scan for errors. Everything's coming back and being like, yeah, it's fine, I repaired it. It's like, yeah, all repaired. And I'm like, it still doesn't work. It still does not flipping work. So then my next step after trying to do all of those things was I just think I'll bite the bullet and I will upgrade to Windows 11, which I've been avoiding because I'm concerned that like, what if some of my programs don't work? Again, it's that thing of like, if a program that I use regularly doesn't work for whatever reason in Windows 11, then I'm kind of screwed. I have to then go around, it's going to take me time to figure out how to get it to work, or another program that does the same thing. So I've been trying to avoid for a bit Windows 11. I know eventually I was going to have to upgrade to Windows 11. So I knew I was going to have to do it at some point, and because I'm like, well, I'm already friggin' stuck with this issue, I may as well try and upgrade to Windows 11 now, and if that fixes the problem, then hooray, the problem is fixed, and I will use Windows 11, and it'll be fine. I mean, I didn't think Windows 11 was bad, but I just didn't know what to expect. I hadn't tried it before. Installed Windows 11. Did all that, it's a little bit different. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to. It's not massively different. I was forced to install Windows 11 because Windows 10 was broken for me, and I thought it might be Windows 10 and Windows 11 might fix it. Guess what? Windows 11 didn't fix it. I just got then stuck with Windows 11. Well, not stuck. I technically could go back, but at this point I've already committed to putting Windows 11 on my PC, so I may as well just stick at it. But I'm still having the exact same issue. The search bar is still popping up blank, disappearing. If you open the Xbox app, it would open and it might be there for maybe like 5 seconds, 10 seconds maybe tops, and then it would close itself. If you went onto the Windows Store and tried to click on anything, the Windows Store would open and you could see like the home screen, but then if you went down and like clicked on Minecraft, it would then crash and close the same way that the Xbox app had and the search bar had. Like I said, I've solved it. I fixed it, and I'm doing this video partly because it's like therapeutic for me to ramble about it, but for Jesus Christ, it took me a long time to find anyone that had the same issue with any sort of explanation on how to fix it. So the solution was, or the problem was, and the solution is, the problem was my account, my profile on the PC that I used, which was called Colesy. You can have multiple profiles on your PC. When you actually turn the PC on, it loads the profile, and if you have multiple, it'll load into like the profile screen so that you can choose a profile. I had one profile on it, which was mine because I'm the only one that uses the PC. So I had a profile called Colesy, which is what I was logged into my Microsoft account and everything through that. So the problem, I came down to like narrowing the problem from just being Windows, because obviously we changed onto Windows 11. I narrowed it down to being a Microsoft account related issue. Anything that I try to use with a Microsoft account, so the Xbox app, the Microsoft Store, the Windows Store, whatever it's called, Any of those things would not work, and that's, in my head, the relation between them was Microsoft account. And I was like, okay, so it's a Microsoft account issue. It was related to my Microsoft account in a way, but what actually had happened is my profile on my computer was corrupt. And when you do all the Windows fixes and the scanning for broken files and stuff like that, it does not locate or does not look at or does not fix account issues. It's like Windows is all fine, but for some reason, I don't know what it was, I don't know how it happened, my account was corrupt, and the corruption was causing the search not to work and no Microsoft Store or Microsoft account related stuff to work. This was my thought this morning, well, before I got into the office this morning. This was my thinking last night, I guess, at home. Like I said, I cannot get it out of my head until it's fixed. What I was thinking last night, I was like, right, I've got a couple troubleshooter things to try. Because I tried some troubleshooters, I couldn't remember which ones I'd done, so I figured I'll do those first and see how that goes. And then I thought, I wonder if I could just make another account on the PC, like a second profile, and see if it works in there. Because if the search bar and stuff works in there, then I know that it's for some reason linked to that particular profile on the PC. So that was what I thought. I was like, these are my things, these are like the things I'm going to try first when I get into the office. So I got into the office and I did those. Also, Windows was doing an update. So I let Windows do the update. So I thought, Windows might just fix it. It might just be a thing and it just needs to update a bit. Now, I'd done all the Windows updates, as far as I was aware, but there was more that it wanted to do, so I let it do that. Didn't fix it, none of that was fixed. Tried the troubleshooting. That didn't work. So then I went, right, now I'm on to the making a new profile on the PC. So I went into settings, went into profiles, and clicked like make a new one. And then it loads up a Microsoft account window that is blank and then disappears because it's a Microsoft account window and the problem is Microsoft account. So then I'm like, shit, I can't even do the new account because it won't let me make one. I thought it might let me make like a local account. You can have a local account, you don't have to have logged into a Microsoft account. So then I'm thinking, there must be a way to create a user profile using like the Windows PowerShell, the more typey technical stuff, right? I don't know what I'm doing in that, but I can Google it and I can use it and I can copy a code. There is exactly that. There is a way that you can do it. I'll put it in the description if anybody is having the same issue because I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was very simple. You can use the PowerShell to just create an account. You can create it with a name and a password, and then you have another account on the PC. You have another profile, you have another user, whatever you call it. I switched out, I signed out, I logged out of my normal profile that I use, and I went into this new one, and oh my Jesus, everything just works. The frickin' search bar works, the frickin' Xbox works, it all works. So now I'm like, 100%, that's just my accounts. Like, for some reason, that specific profile on my computer is fudged. It's not that difficult to actually like migrate myself over to this new profile because I had copied some settings over and I moved over any files that were specifically saved to that profile, but generally everything is saved onto the computer itself and like all the files are shared because it has only been me that's on the PC and it has only been like the one profile, so there's no point in me like restricting it because I'm the only guy on it, so it's fine. But that made it much easier to like be able to access everything. So then I finally got to the solution of the friggin' problem, and it was that my account was corrupt. Now, I haven't tried logging into my Microsoft account on this new one yet, but I don't see why there would be any issue, because it's not the Microsoft account itself. Like, I can log on to that online and, you know, access all my account information and stuff like that. It's just for some reason on that one profile, it just wouldn't work. Got a little bit of setting up to do just to kind of put everything where I used to have it, and change some settings, save some profiles in some software, but it's nowhere near as difficult as it would be if I'd had to reinstall and start from scratch. Like, I know, like, we all do it, I'm sure we all do it, if you have this weird little thing that just like pops up on your screen or whatever. For example, like Jake used to have this, my brother used to have this, where like the command prompt would pop up for a second and then go. And he was just like, yeah, it just does that. I just get used to it, right? And you're like, that's not normal. That shouldn't do that. But because it's kind of not a massive problem, you just kind of put it off. And that's what I've been doing for ages with this issue. I've been able to put it off because I've been able to fix it. And then I'd just like stop Windows updating. I'd pause it for like as long as I possibly could. And then when it finally got to that end of that pause and it did do an update, I'd then uninstall the update. And that was just how I worked. And that's a terrible way to work because it's not solving the problem. Thankfully, I mean, in a way, it's good that it just stopped working because then I actually had to fix the problem properly, but it has been a stressful few days where I've not been able to do anything other than like try and fix this. That's just a bit of a rambly video from me. I know it might help some people, I hope it does, but I just, you know, wanted to make this video because Jesus, it's been a stressful old few days trying to figure this out, and it's just annoying the fact that I couldn't figure it out. I don't like things to just be broken because it's broken. I'm like, no. There's a reason it's broken, which means there's something to learn from this. If we can't fix it, we need to learn why it broke, how it broke, so that it doesn't do it again. I mean, I guess I haven't really learned why it broke, but I have fixed it. So that works for me. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope this has been useful. If you are having this similar problem, then, you know, hopefully this solution helps you as well. I'll try and make sure that the beginning of the video shows exactly what the issue I was having was. So you know, if you are having that issue, then you can watch the video. Whereas if you're not having that issue and you don't care about, you know, what's been going on with me and why I'm annoyed about it, then you don't have to watch the full video, and you know, you don't have to waste your time if you're like, I watched that whole video and it wasn't the same problem as I had. Anyway, we're done now. I'm on Windows 11. I've upgraded from Windows 10. I've got to get used to it, but everything is working, and now I can stream and do videos again, and everything is good in the world. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.